Hey guys, welcome back to another one of CCA's interview, which is part of our outreach series. For those who don't know, my name is Aaliyah. I am currently a CCA intern and a senior at St. Peter's University in Jersey City, New Jersey, majoring in biology, aspiring to work in the medical field. As you guys know, I too was born with a facial difference called golden heart syndrome that came with a long road of surgeries, therapies, and a lot of rehabilitation. But as you already know already, it never stopped me from achieving any of my goals. So today I am joined with Annairis Perkins, also known as AJ. AJ is an advocate in the mental health and disabilities, where she believes giving awareness is a testament to her determination to create a more inclusive and empathetic world. Her goal is to inspire those around her, leaving an indelible mark on both her community and the lives she touches. Welcome, AJ. It is a pleasure to have you on our series.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Of course. Thank you for joining and share your time with us. How are you today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. How about you?
I'm feeling great. Oh my God. It's so amazing to connect with somebody. And I'll always remember the first time I met you at the CCA retreat. That was one of the most amazing because I would say that because having someone, in the same minority and has a facial difference and who lives like 10 minutes by you, that's such an amazing feeling. And I was like such an awe. I don't know about you. How you felt?
Um, it was definitely surreal. I
Yeah.
have to agree with you. We are definitely a minority. And so I do agree to be able to be within arm's length of reach, to someone who shares a similarity to you was an overwhelmingly amazing feeling. So I share the same sentiment in meeting you and your mother also. It was a pleasure. And I hope, and I know it won't be the first or the last time that we meet, both socially and personally.
Yes, most definitely. That's another topic to talk about. But anyways, let's get into it. Would you start us off by telling a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is AJ, and I was born with Treacher Collins syndrome, which is a rare genetic birth defect that affects the facial development in persons impacted. It also can cause issues with hearing, speech, vision, and breathing complications as well.
Mm-hmm. And what's it called? I had many other people, such as a good friend of mine named Anna, and I have some upcoming guests that also have teacher Collins, and they were absolutely amazing. Just hearing their story and just knowing, and it's crazy because they're absolutely trying to go into modeling. And it's each one of them with Treacher Collins. And it's crazy and incredible to see that, they have that confidence and they want to show their and embrace their differences to the world. So just looking at you right now, I could just see you like, I don't know, see you in a billboard or something. I don't know. I can see that happening.
It's in the works.
Oh, wait, hold on. That's another. Oh, wait, you excited. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. Hold up. Let's get into the next question before I get too excited. So I understand you have a degree in psychology, right?
That is correct.
Tell me what inspired you to go into psychology and what do you hope for your future with psychology to look like?
Well, as I grew from a young adult into adulthood, I had a lot of curiosity in understanding the mind and the behavior of humans and what causes us to do some of the things, that we do or have the behaviors that we exhibit. And the further I got into my studies, I wanted to learn more and more. And so I have been my heart has been touched in a way where I want to support those that are in mental health crises. Um, Not only mental health crises, but any type of struggle that a person might be having mentally, emotionally,
Mhm.
physically, socially. It all starts with the mind, and perspective is what either helps you conquer a situation or
Mhm.
lose a situation,
Right.
or lose in a battle, right? A struggle that you're having. And if I can just help one person with their perspective and help them to change it from a negative to a positive perspective, then they've won half the battle already.
Right. I totally agree with you. I'm gonna get a little deep because this you and your going for psychology and hearing your goals with it. I think I want to share this because mental health is really important. So
Mhm.
I lost my uncle to mental health issues,
Mhm.
and it's crazy because he didn't really believe into therapy and letting his sharing his emotion because he always thought as a man you have to have it all together, you have to be strong, you have to be the man of the house. So he used to hold everything in. So hearing your side, how mental health is important and how you want to be that person to help others, to let them know like it's okay and not like let their mind to like dehumanize them and like put them in a like low state of matter, because that's really important because it's just your mind is such a powerful thing and it can lead you to many places. So I really appreciate you for doing everything you're doing, studying psychology, and yeah, yeah.
I definitely agree. I think see, I think the biggest challenge that society faces is that we're taught many things in general. So like, we're born into the world and then we go through the infant stage, the toddler stage, then we go into preteen and teen and so forth. And when we're in school, we're exposed to the concepts of math and science and social studies, and writing and reading. But there is no focus on mental health and how to take care of your mind and how to deal with day-to-day situations. And so most of the population doesn't know how to cope or to handle situations that arise because we were never taught. So
Yeah.
how do we overcome, how do we deal with something that we were never taught to do?
Right, right. That's very important. Like you said, like in school, they really don't teach you like the day-to-day life, like or like how society runs. It's like math, science, Spanish, all this stuff. That's not reality. That's just what the curriculum wants us to know.
Mhm.
And like I mentioned, I thank you so much for teaching me more about psychology and more about more of you like explaining the depth of it, which is very important. So I know you do a lot of with advocacy work. What do you think the future in advocating for these with or those with facial differences look like for you? And if you can elaborate with us more, what is something you like to, share, and aspire to the world with people with facial differences?
So while I don't want to speak too prematurely, I will say that I have some things in the works and I'm hoping to come to pass quite soon.
Mm.
Um, I will say, however, that I believe that and when I say we,
Mhm.
uh, the people within the craniofacial and disability community, we are experiencing a national shortage across the board, meaning that there needs to be more presence. There
Mhm.
needs to be more representation of us,
Mhm.
on commercials, on billboards, in modeling, in the workplace,
Mhm.
any and everywhere you can think of, there needs to be more representation of us. And that is the message that I'm hoping to get across. Society has a set criteria or sense of normalcy.
Mhm.
And if you don't check off those boxes, then you don't necessarily fit in.
Right.
And I don't agree with that. The norm should be whoever you are, just the way that you are.
Right, right. And I totally agree with you. We need more representation of us. We are so underrepresented. It's so bad because every time, like when I was younger, I used to, I go on social media and I never see anyone that looks different like me or anything. And I used to look up to these, I would assume like these beautiful, most gorgeous girls and these guys, and I would just like think back to myself, I would never be on their level. I would never get this recognition. I would never, be considered as beautiful, you know? So to be able to hear your goal with this, I am so down and I am ready to take over this world with the modeling or anything because our face needs to be shown. We need to be, you know, proving to others, especially to these teens and young kids, you know, they need it the most because like I mentioned, when I was a teenager, I didn't, you know, have that, you know, support system. So voices like me and yours is such a powerful thing because they'll know like, oh, everything's okay. Everything's gonna be fine. Just keep being you and you're beautiful, you know. Different is beautiful. So
Yes, yes.
yeah. So tell us about, I know you're into music and writing. If you can elaborate with us more, like how did you get into that, music and writing?
So as a kid, I grew up around a lot of music in my home, of all genres always being played.
Right.
My family loves to party, loves to celebrate, you know, every occasion. There's a house party just to
Mhm.
celebrate. And it's amazing because music is freeing, music is it's inspiring. And I'm also a writer. I absolutely enjoy writing. And I tend to utilize them simultaneously. So as I'm writing, I'm listening to music, and as I'm listening to music, I'm always writing.
Mhm.
Writing is also one of my most favorite hobbies to do. Absolutely enjoy writing because the things that I may not necessarily utter verbally are the
Right.
things that I put in writing.
Exactly.
And you get that same liberation, that
Mhm.
same excitement, at least for me.
Mhm.
So that's where my music and writing come from and how I use them together. They're healing also.
Oh, most definitely healing. I love journaling. Like you mentioned, like writing is such a coping mechanism for me. It really helps me relax and, you know, put everything, like you said, like if I can't say it verbally, I'm gonna write it down. And it's such a, you know, calming feeling. Like I write down all my goals and aspirations or things I ate or things I don't like. It's you can write down anything, and I just love that about it. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah. My next question for you is I know you have two beautiful children, Mason and Michaela, which I was an honor to meet Michaela at the retreat. Lovely little girl. And my next question is I know that Michaela has teacher college just as you.
Mhm.
So, how has it been raising a child who has the same syndrome as you?
Um, Raising Michaela has been the absolute amazing experience ever. When I was pregnant with her, I knew that she had facial Collins. I actually, you know, prepared the doctors in terms of what to look for, you know, wanted to be ready and wanted to make them aware,
Right.
um, you know, of the possibilities of what we were looking for. And when it was time to do her anatomy scan,
Mhm.
we saw all the things that we needed to see to let us know that she was going to have Tricia Collins. And for me, one of the things that I love is the fact that she has me
Yeah.
with direct access, or as direct access, direct representation, direct understanding, like you name it, she
Mm.
has it directly in me. And so it's 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 a wonderful experience to see her walk similar, almost the same shoes as I've walked before because I've been through some of the struggles, right? I've been through some of the experiences and so when we sit down and we have conversations, I understand in a way that no one else can
Right.
understand, right? I can guide her in a way, not just as a mother, but as a mother who shares the exact same syndrome as her. It's a different type of appreciation, and gratefulness. And I know some may say, well, if you have a syndrome, why, you know, have children knowing that they can have the same thing?
Mhm.
And my answer to that was or is because I am sure in who I am, and
Mhm.
I'm okay with who I am
Right.
and the way that I am. And with that being said, myself and my husband were okay bringing in or having a child that would be a replica of myself.
Mhm.
It's about knowing your foundation, who you are, whose you are, and where you come from. And
Oh,
with that, she is and will conquer the world.
oh, I already saw it when I met her. I was like, this is Michaela. She's, I feel like it's like the most beautiful thing, to have for Michaela to have you as a mother, because like you said, like you physically and mentally know what she's feeling, and I think that's like the best thing ever, because it's very hard, I remember being in Michaela's position, not knowing like, oh, like my parents would, what's it called? I grew up in a very beautiful family. My parents would tell me like there's nothing wrong with me. And, you don't look different. Everyone's the same, da da da. But when I went out in society, it was a whole different ball game. Everyone would stare at me and I would get confused, like, what do you mean? Like everyone's staring at me, everyone's mimicking and just looking at me. So I just remember being Michaela's position, but now she has someone there that is like, tell her like, everything's okay. So
Mhm.
I just think, I don't know, it's speechless. It's like, it's just such a cool thing that, Michaela has that support system, has that, great friend. Not me, it's like me, like, no, I'm being so speechless right now. I don't even know what to say. We're gonna go to the next question.
No,
But
that's okay. That's okay. You know, and
yeah.
for those who don't have that, I say there's a big population of us out in the world.
Hmm.
Make connections, network,
Right.
find someone that you can trust, find someone that you can network with and build relationships with. And
Hmm.
as to you, as we've said before, we will make a connection where we can chat, and I can support you in any way possible, especially considering that we're within close distance and proximity of each other.
That's what I'm saying. No, no, it's crazy because I literally told my mother like the other day. I'm like, I have to contact AJ. Like, I want her to have some ideas. I want to do something with her. I gotta collab with her.
Agree.
Something up my sleeve for us. Go ahead, go ahead. I'm like, you're coming too. But most definitely, we are definitely going to link up soon, very soon. My next question for you is, I think you already like kind of answered this, but you can elaborate more. Do you feel differently about yourself now from how you felt when you were younger?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so one thing I'm extremely grateful for, both of my parents were consistent.
Mm-hmm.
They were consistent, they were diligent, and they were 100% at making sure that I got everything that I needed. And
Mm-hmm.
when I say everything, I mean mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like in every aspect,
Mm-hmm.
they made sure that they poured into me
Mm-hmm.
and provided me with the support that I needed, both of my parents. But in particular, when it comes to confidence, my father was the epitome of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he, I mean, as young as I can remember, from a little girl, 3, 4, 5 years old, constantly, you're beautiful. You can do anything you want to. You can, I mean, every day. He
Mm-hmm.
was my biggest and loudest cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
And from a young age, he's always instilled in me
Mm-hmm.
that you can do anything that you want to do. You just need to set your mind to it. You need to focus and you can do it and don't let anybody tell you different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mean, when I tell you every day, that was an everyday conversation with him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And I say that to say that even though I had that, as a young lady, you know, teenagers, young adults, we're going to go through that stage where we're uncertain about life, we're uncertain about the world, we're just like, we're trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there were definitely stages of my life where I was not sure about certain things. Um, and I would call it just that figuring it out stage that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so yes, I was different in that I wasn't sure. With all, you know, with all that was instilled in me, I think it's part of the growing up stage,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
growing stage. Um, you know, at once in life as you're growing, and you have to figure it out as you go along. And situations will happen, and you're like, you don't know how situation A connects with situation B and
Right.
how it will equal to a C.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when I look back today to where I was back then, definitely a different version of myself,
Right.
um, a more complete,
Mm-hmm.
certain, confident, sure, winning and overcoming every day, all day version of myself today compared to back then. It's a process,
Uh,
though. It's a process.
it, mm. You can say that again. Do you do you remember exactly like, you know, the moment like your whole mindset changed? Like, do you know? Because I remember like the moment like everything just switched, like, oh, like I saw a new version of me.
Um, Absolutely, I do. I always had this desire to be the best version of myself that I can be.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm that individual that always wants more, no matter what I achieve and how much I achieve. I always feel like there's more to be done.
Mhm.
Um, because once you plateau, for me, it feels like you're no longer teachable and you're longer reaching for more. And I never want to get to the stage of comfortable.
Mhm.
Grateful, yes, but not comfortable because there's more to be done, there's more to
Right.
learn, there's more to understand, and there's more to share.
Mhm.
Um, and so yes, I certainly remember when like a light bulb went off, and it's like, yes, I want all of it. I want not part of it, but all of it. All of it meaning everything that's going to lend to me being a complete version of myself, the best version of myself. We
Right.
cannot, we can't give to anyone on a half empty cup,
Nope.
right? So it's important for us to be complete, to be whole, to be better parents, to be better daughters, to be better friends, to be better everything.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm. And you know what's crazy? At a young age, I knew that. You know, I growing up, you know, in my teenage years, I was always behind. You know, I see my friends doing other things and going out and having boyfriends and experiencing like the girl world, you know. And I just knew deep down that I didn't really, you know, accept and love myself dearly. So I always knew that if, you know, if I didn't have that within myself, how am I going to love someone else? How am I going to be friends? Or how am I going to communicate? And how am I going to, you know, adapt to the real world? So I knew that I had to focus on myself throughout those whole years. And I did. And I really did. And that's how I found myself. And I'm bringing this up because, you know, at a young age, I knew this, you know, I know in other situations, you know, there's other, you know, young teens and kids that, you know, they feel pressure to do it and they are pressured and are doing it, but the wrong way, you know, they still feel that pity,
Mhm.
they still feel that, you know, unwanted, you know. So that's why I kind of say like I'm kind of rare. Like, you know, I kind of, I knew at a, you know, young age that I need to get my stuff together within myself. My mental health is first.
Mhm.
and which I did, and I feel like, I came out pretty cool. I figured out kind of awesome, where I'm in right now. Like, this is amazing to be at, speaking to you on the series. So it always works out for the better, guys. And, always, focus on yourself, that's the bigger picture in life, and your happiness.
Yes.
Happiness,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my last question for you is, if you had a chance to speak to your younger self now, what would you say?
I would tell myself to stop worrying,
Mm,
trust the process, because it all is going to work itself out. As a young teenager, early young adult, I remember like always being a worrier and worrying about every single little detail. Like, I mean, every little detail. Because when you're young, you to have this picture or idea or vision of the way that you expect and you want everything to be. And sometimes if it doesn't go that way, you develop a little OCD and you're like, no, but it needs to be this way. On
mhm,
this date, at this time, this shape, you know what I mean? And as I've grown and as I've matured, I've learned and I'm still learning to let go, trust the process, and watch it work itself.
mm,
And it really, really, really truly does come full circle, and it works itself out every single time.
mm,
And so if I know that and I believe that, then why worry about it? Why
mm,
try to fix it and be at every turning piece of the process?
mm,
Just go with it, flow with it, grow
right.
with it, and let it work itself.
Love it. And that's my motto too. Just go with the flow. I literally, whatever happens, it happens for a reason. Just go with the flow. That's literally my motto. So thank you so much, AJ. It has been a pleasure chatting with you today. If our audience wants to learn more about you, where can they, follow you on any social media source or any website if you want to share with us?
At this time, it would be Facebook at AJ Hill is my Facebook name. And as I continue to make process in my advocacy platforms, I'll share those platforms as they become available.
Oh, we appreciate you sharing your time with us, and I look forward to chatting with you again in the future. Thank you so much, AJ.